Hi, this is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're dealing with a Thermador oven that won't heat. So we're going to be replacing the igniter. Pretty easy to do. So first thing, make sure it's unplugged or we turn off the breaker. We're going to remove the oven door. We're going to pull back after we open the door on a couple of these little latches on each side. So you grab it, pull it towards you. Sometimes they're kind of stuck. If I push down on the oven door, it helps me, and also I'm going to use a standard head screwdriver to kind of pry this thing toward me. So it hinges, and it's this little bar that has to come all the way towards you on both sides. And then when you open the door, it actually disconnects the door from the frame. First thing though is you got to get the little thing to bend towards you. This one they were kind of stuck, so I had to use a screwdriver to help me. And then you lift up on the door and it comes out, the hinge comes out of the frame. I usually kind of rest it against my knee so it doesn't hurt my back. They're pretty heavy. Pull the door off to the side. This just makes it a lot easier to get into the different parts. On either side, and then there's two clips that hold it at the bottom that you just pull back on and they release. And then you have good access to where the igniter power cables are, and this thing on the left, this blue thing, is the simmer control for the left two top burners. So I'm going to be removing two little screws here on the left and right side that hold the bottom plate in. They're just Phillips head screws. So I get rid of those screws, and then I need to get these racks out of the way. And there's some things that hold the racks in position that we're going to have to move too. Pretty easy though. Everything just kind of slips out. And I'll remove this rack support on the left side. What I'll do is just lift up first, and then once I lift up to get it out of the bottom supports, I'll pull down to get it out of the top supports. Got it. And then I'm going to remove the little bracket that holds it. There's two of them, one in the front, one in the back. I just need to remove the one in the front. It's held on again by two Phillips head screws. So zip those out. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. So that plate won't come out unless you remove both. So I'm going to remove this rack. I'll lift up first and then I'll pull down. That comes out. It's two Phillips head screws. So Thermador and Bosch are essentially the same company. They're very similar between the different models. Siemens, Thermador, Bosch, it's all one big company in Germany. So we're going to now lift up on the bottom plate, pull it toward us. And probably about every 8 years you need to replace these bake igniters. They just get weak and they either take a long time to light or you won't quite get the heat that you're looking for. They're really easy to replace. So here's the igniter, this thing right in front of us. And they're usually held on by two Phillips head screws and two nuts. This one only has one holding it, so it was probably replaced at some time before. And maybe they didn't put in the second one. It's not critical. One will do it. Two is a little bit better so that there's no chance the igniter will move. So I'm just going to spin that out, hold on to the nut with my fingers.
Hey guys, can you take just a second to click on the subscription link below? It really helps our channel, and also the bell notification. So every time we make a new video, we can send it right to you. We make a new video about once every week. Really appreciate that. And if you give us a thumbs up, it's great. Thank you.
And get that out. Sometimes you want to put a little oil on these so that they come out easier because sometimes they're corroded. So I get the screw out, and now I can just lift up on the igniter. It'll come right out. Pull that into the oven cavity, and then this one has two little ceramic wire nuts because this has been replaced before. So I'll spin off the wire nuts. Normally you wouldn't see this, and you might have to cut the wire. Here's the part number for it, kind of a generic bake igniter that works for almost all models. We just call these flat igniters. There's also round igniters. that are for GE ovens, but these flat ones work for almost any oven. So I'm going to pull the wires through, firewall, and then I'll put that little screw and nut back in to hold it into position. You can also at this point check the burner tube or venturi tube holes to make sure they're all nice and clear. That's where the flames come out. If they're full of junk, you can use a wire brush to clean them. I'm just going to spin on that nut and then we'll tighten down that Phillips head screw. And you'll notice with this new igniter that it'll heat quickly, it'll heat to the temperature that you want, and it just cures a lot of the common bake problems. Sometimes people say they smell a little bit of gas, and that can also mean you have a weak igniter. I have seen where we have weak igniters where the ignition happens kind of late and it's full of gas, and then the door basically have a small explosion and the door flies open. Now it's all secure, and we're going to now do the wire connections. This is here in the front of the oven, and I'm just putting the power wires to the igniter wire, and then I'm going to use my ceramic wire nut to tighten that down. Make sure you get it really tight and there's no metal showing. You don't want that to hit the frame and get shorted out. So I'm just taking a power wire from the oven and hooking it to one igniter wire. Then I'll do the same. I'll take the other power wire and hook it to the other igniter wire. There's no way you can really get this wrong because there's no polarity issue with this type of arrangement. So any one of the power wires can go to either one of the igniter wires. I'm going to tuck those wires away, and then we'll basically put everything back together. We'll do a little test here, make sure it's working. We're going to plug back in, or turn the power back on, and we can test it out. So we're going to turn the oven up, and then we'll watch the igniter. It should start to glow. Orange at first, and then it'll go to yellow, and when it gets white hot, it'll let the gas flow in, and it'll ignite it like a match. So on a healthy igniter, it should take under 60 seconds. Those took about 15 seconds, so that's really good. Got a nice blue flame, looks great. So we'll turn it off, and we'll put everything back together. So I'm going to put the bottom plate back in, just slide it in. I noticed I had to lift up a little bit in the back as I pushed it in. It was kind of stuck. So I'm reaching in and lifting up a little bit, and then I'm going to push it in. I got it nice and flush. And then I'll put in the two little Phillips head brackets and supports in the front that hold the bottom plate into position. Got one there, put the little screw in, and then tighten it up. Really good stoves, really good ovens. They're pretty tough. Sometimes the left two front burners or top burners stop working. That's due to this blue thing, the simmer control. You have to replace it. So Bosch and Thermador both have that. So we got the two front plates back in. We'll put on this little side plate that holds the side bracket for the oven shelves. Just zip those in. We'll put the side bracket in to the upward ones first. We'll lift it up and then we'll let it drop into the lower ones. Make sure it fits into those little holes on the lower. Be that on the right hand side. Same type of arrangement is pretty similar with Viking and Wolf stoves. Also, actually uses the same part. So we did the same procedure here on the right side, and once we get it in position, I'm going to tighten those screws. Then I'll put the racks back in, slide them in. When we put the oven door back in, you'll notice that on the right and left hand side there's basically two holes in the frame. There's two prongs on the hinge. So now we're putting this bottom plate back in. I'm going to put the little plastic clips in. I just push them in. Pretty cool. And then I'll put in the 2 Phillips head screws. Yeah, but when you put the oven door, you have the 2 prongs on the oven door hinge and basically 2 holes, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. And you want to get those prongs into the holes and just push them in as far as they're going to go. And you let the oven door rest all the way down perpendicular to the oven frame. And then we'll put the little levers back into position. Here we go. So we're putting the oven door back in. Take your time here. Get those prongs into the holes, wiggle it in, push it all the way in as far as it'll go, and then let it come all the way down to perpendicular 90 degrees. And then once you've got that as far as in as it'll go, we're going to push up on those 2 little levers, one on the right, one on the left, all the way forward. And then we should be able to close the oven door normally. And we got it. And now you have a Thermador oven that will heat normally and bake all your goodies for you.
Thanks so much for watching our video. Please leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. We really appreciate that. We have a really nice video coming up for you right here that I think you'll enjoy. Very similar, dealing with appliance repair. So thanks again for watching our video.